Hello there from Alton Towers Resort. It's halfway through August and we are here to have a look at Nemesis, but also to talk about Project Horizon, especially after the little RMC teaser from John Burton of Merlin the other day in the Merlin Annual Pass video that was released on social media. Of course, the comment about an RMC potentially being on the horizon has certainly got everybody talking about, are Alton Towers going to build an RMC? So we will talk about that shortly in this video, but first we're going to check out the progress of the Nemesis retracking project. What I can say already is that all 4 inversions are now in place. The track is almost complete. There's a lot of work going on the lift hill in terms of paintwork. There's a lot of work going on with the station in terms of paintwork and theming. It's looking good. I'm still not sure on the veins on the track, but the black track looks really good. And joining me today is Becca.
Hello.
In the distance there we can see some of the new Nemesis track behind the trees, which will probably be lifted in on Monday or Tuesday. I've not seen them lift any tracking on a Saturday so far, so I'm not expecting to see anything like that today either.
Everything is under control.
Project Horizon then, Becca, what do we know? You've just been having a good nosy at stuff online.
Yeah, so what we know is it's going to be in a building.
Obviously.
Yep, I think everybody actually got that point. What I think we know is that the entrance will be pointing towards here, which is between the dungeons and...
David Williams.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, we know it's going to be indoors, and
yeah.
I think that's the most that anyone can actually safely say that they know, and roughly that it's going to be back there.
Yeah, planning permission was improved in February. The building is big enough. Should we turn around because that sun's very bright?
I can't see.
The sun's glaring off my head. Yeah, sorry if you can hear the dungeons behind us. So, Alton Towers have obviously dropped a big hint. Well, it was John Burton from Merlin that dropped. I wouldn't even say
trolling.
Hint trolling, having a bit of fun at our expense. Basically, in the latest Merlin backstage video, they just had a little bit of a joke about they can't talk about an RMC or anything that's potentially on the horizon whilst holding an RMC cup. Now, obviously that sent the internet into complete meltdown, which it will do because we don't have an RMC in this country. We're long overdue an RMC in this country, but if Alton Towers are putting an RMC back there, we're not getting Zadra, we're not getting Steel Vengeance, we're going to get one of those Wild Moose RMC coasters that they announced literally the other day, which, if you look at the dimensions of the off-the-shelf model, it would fit comfortably in the Project Horizon building that's been approved, along with a queue line. But is it going to be that, in your opinion?
No.
No?
No.
What are you expecting from Project Horizon?
Something confusing.
Something confusing?
Yeah, because I think Towers is very, very confused at who they're aiming at.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to know whether they're going to go a bit more thrill or a bit more family. I mean, where it is, you could say family because of what it's next to, but then you look over there and it's next to the dungeons.
Yes.
So I think it's really difficult. I think what's more likely is one of those Intamins, like at Movie Park Germany. What are they called?
Intamin multi-dimensional roller coasters.
Yeah,
so
I think they're a bit more bedded in, a bit more current.
Yeah.
I just can't see them jumping on and only just announced.
Well, the thing is, if obviously RMC they will have been working on that concept for a while, but if they were putting it in at Alton Towers, I'm certain that
they'd have announced the concept with.
Yeah, I also think that they would have maybe retweeted the video from Towers. They might have done. I've just not seen them retweet it. And maybe yesterday or whenever it was that Alton Towers announced, when RMC announced the Wild Moose roller coaster concept, then maybe Merlin or Alton Towers would have retweeted it as a little bit of a hint of, ooh, look at this.
Yeah.
But there has been none of that. And I just think, from what John Burton said and hinted at an RMC on the horizon at Alton Towers, does that mean that Project Horizon's going to be an RMC? Not necessarily. Does it mean Alton Towers might be looking at getting an RMC in the future? Quite possibly. Obviously there was the Cross Valley coaster that's been rumoured for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
If anyone was going to do it, that sounds like an RMC type project.
It does.
There's no reason why Towers and RMC aren't in talks and haven't already got something lined up. It just doesn't necessarily mean it's Project Horizon. In my opinion, and I could well be wrong with this, and I'm sure that anyone that already knows what it's going to be, because there will be people that do know,
Of course.
there'll be Towers, the Towers sites will definitely know what it is. We aren't a Towers site, so we don't know what it is right now, but I think it'll be an Intamin, and I do think it'll be something like Uncharted at Portaventura. I really do, with the forwards, sideways and backwards launches. So for anyone that hasn't done Uncharted at Portaventura, then it's basically a screen-based dark ride coaster. You sit in one carriage, it's not a train, it's a carriage with 3 rows. Can't remember how many seats across without going on the internet. Then basically the car spins, it can launch forwards, backwards, sideways. Apologies for the spoilers. That for me is more likely what it's going to be rather than an RMC inside. Now I could be well wrong with this. You know, Alton Towers and RMC could have been planning this for the last 3 or 4 years. Because something we have to remember with new roller coasters is, unless you're buying an off-the-shelf model, like say a Vekoma Boomerang, for example, you can't really just ring up a manufacturer and say, hey guys, we want one of your XYZ roller coasters and we want it next season. There's a lot more that goes into it. So that's why I think that if it is going to be this new RMC concept, then I think that it'll have been in the works for a good 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced that Project Horizon has been in the works for that long.
No, and the problem with this place and kind of off-the-shelf things, they have never got any idea what they're going to get approved.
No.
You know, they couldn't go to a manufacturer and say, yeah, we're going to get planning permission for a building that's going to fit that. They can't say that because they don't know what objections are going to come in. It's not as basic as it is anywhere else here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They can't really just pick off the shelf unless it's tiny.
I don't think anything is an off-the-shelf model, to be honest, except for the Retro Squad, but I don't think they needed much planning for those, not compared to a coaster anyway. There's people trying to read the dungeon sign, so I'm going to get out of the way. So yeah, I don't think it's an RMC.
Nah.
I do hope we get an RMC in the UK. I don't think we'll get an RMC here.
I think it was just handed to them on a plate to mention RMC.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't take the option to wind up every enthusiast who wants to know what it is? Oh, they're announcing something. Oh, let's take 5 minutes out of our day to sip out of an RMC cup and say the word Horizon.
Nobody was talking about Project Horizon.
Nope.
We were all talking about Nemesis and we were all talking about Project Exodus. And now we're all talking about Project Horizon here at Alton Towers. So, job done.
Yeah.
Easy marketing has worked absolutely perfectly. We're now all talking about it. We're talking about it more than Nemesis. We're talking about it more than Project Exodus. So yeah, job done. Well done Merlin, well done Towers. Once again, they've got it spot on because they are the masters of this. They know how to get everybody talking about their parks. We're now all talking about Project Horizon again. And I'm sure that Alton Towers will announce it in due course. I really don't think they're going to announce it right before the Nemesis reopening because they don't want everyone to be thinking, do you know what? We won't go and do the new Nemesis. We'll wait until that new Project Horizon opens because there is such a thing as marketing too early.
Yes.
And you can lose the hype amongst everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is it for today. If you've got any thoughts on Project Horizon and the RMC rumours, please let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoy little Alton Towers chatty videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you could get us another video to somewhere between 200 and 300 likes, that would be massively appreciated. That's all from me. All from you, yeah?
That's all from me as well.
Excellent. So many thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.